Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining our session. If you look in the chat, you will see the link to join the lesson today. And if you click that link, you can just enter, log in using one of the options you see on the screen, or join as a guest. But go ahead and click that link so that you can engage with us on the Nearpod lesson for our session today. So again, welcome, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to our session today. As you are joining the lesson, you'll notice there's a Collaborate board, an activity for you to participate in. So tell us where you are from and what is one goal that you have for our session today. You can add that on the Collaborate board by typing in the white bar at the very bottom of your screen, and you will be able to hit the submit button, the little blue arrow pointing up, and your responses will populate on the screen. So go ahead and join our lesson. I see that 3 people have already joined, so thank you. Everyone else, continue to join the lesson, and while you wait, go ahead and answer the Collaborate board questions that you see, which are to tell us where you are from and your goal that you have for our session today. All right. Okay, I see that you guys are continuing to join. So the link is in the chat. As you all are entering into our session, we are going to start in about 30 seconds. And while you're joining the lesson, be sure to enter where you are from and your goal for our session today on the Nearpod lesson. And I see some responses are coming in. So Taiwan is here and Singapore is here, and you're interested in learning how to search for lessons, and you're interested in learning how to explore the Nearpod library resources. So thank you for adding your comments to the Collaborate board. About a few more seconds while we have you join the lesson, and the link is in the chat for you to join. You can also join using the code that you see right here on the screen. If you go to join.nearpod.com, you can enter that code. Okay. Okay. Lorelai, I see that you're back, and former Florida resident or visitor. Okay. All right, so moving forward, thank you all for joining our quick start session here. I'm going to move forward, move back so you can see that our session is about quick start lessons. And then just a few reminders. Please open another window, join our Nearpod lesson. You can see the link in the chat. You're going to be looking at the Zoom screen, and you're going to be participating on the Nearpod lesson. So you'll have 2 things that you'll have to navigate as we go through today's Camp Engage webinar. Okay, so you can do it on different devices, or you can do it on different screens. But I would like for you to join the lesson, and I would also like for you to take a look at the Zoom screen that I'm sharing as well. And you can find the lesson code or the lesson link in the chat of the Zoom so that you can join and participate. My name is Michelle Singh. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I am in the United States in Miami, Florida. So it is morning for me, and I'm happy to be your facilitator for our session today. You can find my information, my contact information right here on the screen. And if you would like to connect on Twitter, you'll see that this is linked to my Twitter, and we can connect right here on Twitter. If you are joined on the lesson, you can just follow, and I'll follow you back so we can connect right there. So again, it is wonderful to be with you all this morning. And a few reminders as we get into our session today. Please use the notes feature. The notes feature is going to be very helpful because you'll be able to get a copy of the resources that I'm sharing in today's presentation. You'll be able to get your own copy of that if you use the notes feature. So what you're looking for is the little icon that looks like a piece of paper with a pencil, and it's going to be toward the top right margin of your screen when you're in the student lesson. Okay, so there are 12 people joined in the student lesson. So all 12 of you will be able to access the notes feature. And so when you click that notes feature, it's going to ask you, where do you want your notes to go? You can have it sent to your email, or if you use Google Drive or OneDrive, it could be saved in your Google Drive or your OneDrive. So I would highly recommend that you use the notes feature so that you can get a copy of the resources or the slides that I'm sharing in our presentation today. Another reminder, or during this session, if you have any questions for me or about the topic, you want to put those in the chat. If you have any questions that are technical questions, you want to put those in the Q&A. Okay, so just those reminders so you'll know where to ask your questions. And here is our agenda for our session today. We are going to first log into Nearpod. So you're going to be able to log into your Nearpod account. Then you're going to see how you can find lessons in the Nearpod library that you can use with your students. So we're going to explore the library and how you can search. And then we'll talk briefly about ways that you can edit that lesson so that it aligns to the learning needs of your students. So if you have not already done so, open up another tab in your browser. So click that plus sign, and you're going to go to nearpod.com /login. We have our moderators for our session today. So Sean and Jihai, they will drop that link in the chat for you to log into your Nearpod account. So it's nearpod.com /login. And that will allow you to log into your Nearpod account so that you too can go into the library to search as we are going through the presentation today. So again, that's nearpod.com /login. So thank you to our moderators who have been adding the links in the chat. And if you have any questions, they're the ones who will answer those questions in the chat as well and in the Q&A. All right, so hopefully you are logged in. So we are going to take a look at the different ways that you can browse the Nearpod library and how you can first access the Nearpod library from your account. Note that there are 22,000 lessons that are in the Nearpod library, right? Over 22,000 ready to launch, standards aligned lessons, activities, and videos that are in the Nearpod library. That's a whole lot to go through. That's a lot to go through. So I'm going to show you the different ways you can search to find exactly what you need out of those 22,000 lessons, activities, and videos. Okay. So when we go into the Nearpod account or into your Nearpod account and go to the library, we're going to look at the different ways we can search, and you can see them on the screen. Search by subject, grade, keyword, featured lessons, content type, and publisher. So what I want to do right now is I'm going to switch my screen and I'm going to switch to my Nearpod account. So here I am in my Nearpod account. I've logged into my Nearpod account, and this is my library. I'm in here under my lessons. So these are all the lessons that I have in my account. And so what I want to do is just show you really, really quickly how you can find the Nearpod library when you've logged in into your account. So there are 3 ways that you can search the library, right? So the first one is to look at your navigation bar here on the left-hand side when you're logged in, your gray navigation bar on the left-hand side. If you scroll down, you will see where it says Nearpod Library. So scroll down toward the middle and you'll see where it says Nearpod Library. So you can click that option and that will take you to the Nearpod Library. So that's option number 1, to get to the Nearpod Library. Option number 2 is to locate the thumbnail, toward the center of your account, where it says explore the Nearpod Library. You can also click on that thumbnail and it will take you to the Nearpod Library. Option number 3 is at the top of your toolbar in your account in the center. If you know what topic you are looking for, you can actually type those keywords in that search bar right there, and it will search your lessons and the lessons in the Nearpod Library, so long as you select the option here for all. Okay, so you have 3 ways that you can access the Nearpod Library. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click here on this thumbnail and it's going to take me to the Nearpod Library where these 22,000 activities exist. Okay. If you have questions, please drop them in the chat. If you have questions, please drop them in the chat because we're unable to unmute you. So if you have any questions, just drop them in the chat so that our panelists, Jihai, Sean, or Saris can provide a response to the questions that you have. Any questions about the content, you can drop those in the chat. Any technical questions, you can add those to the Q&A. So if you have any questions, please add them to the chat there. Okay, and our moderators will be happy to assist. All right, so let's take a look. Now that we're in the library, I want to show you how you're able to search. So remember, we have over 22,000 lessons. Okay, so just like I mentioned here, you have different ways that you can search for your lessons by subject, grade, or keyword. So we're going to touch on those 3 first. So subject area. So if I select this option here where it says subject area, then I will see all of the different subject areas where lessons exist. And so if I am a language arts teacher or a social studies teacher or a math teacher or a science teacher, or I'm looking for something related to art, I can just choose, or world languages, I can just choose any one of these options. So I am going to select English language arts. And now where it takes me is all of the content that's in the Nearpod Library for language arts is now here. That's still a lot of content, probably thousands. So what I can also do is search by grade level, because likely if I teach language arts, I teach a certain grade level, maybe high school, maybe elementary school. So maybe I teach 2nd and 3rd grade or 4th grade. And so I can use the subjects and then I can filter also by the grade level. And so that filters out a little bit of, the content so that it's more focused to what I am looking for. Next is I want to look at my options up here now that I've filtered by the subject and by the grade level, because right here where it says all of Nearpod, it's searching all of the lessons, it's searching all of the activities, all of the videos, it's searching everything for that subject area. So I can even filter my search even more and focus on just the lesson. And these lessons are fully blown, they're full lessons, very robust. They have content features like, let's say, a virtual field trip or Nearpod 3D. And they even have activities like a collaborate board or open-ended questions. So the lessons come jam-packed with the different content and activity features. So if I select lesson, that's what I'm going to get. If I select activity, I am going to get a single task, okay, for the different types of the 4 different types of activities in Nearpod. So I may get a drag and drop activity related to the content. So it's just a single drag and drop activity for adverbs because I'm searching language arts. It may be a single matching pairs for adjectives. So when it comes to the activities, these are single tasks, single checks for understanding, and you have 4 options for activities. So let me just show that to you really quick. You have 4 options when it comes to activities. So as you're searching for activities, just know that you can find matching pairs. So a single matching pair for the subject you're looking for, a time to climb, a draw it, or a drag and drop. So you have those 4 options that you see here on the screen, matching pairs, time to climb, draw it, and drag and drop when you are searching for activities. So those are those single tasks. So let's say you have taught your students about conjunctions, and now you just want to check their understanding in an activity. Well, you just find that single activity, whichever of the 4 that I just reviewed that you want, you can find them under activity. Okay. Next is you can search the videos, because there are videos in the library, and the videos are interactive, meaning they have questions embedded in them. So you will see lessons, you will see activities, and you will see videos. So those are those different types of Nearpod content that you will find. All right. So what I want to do is go back to my main library view here. So we looked at how to search by subject. And when you select your subject, you can filter by grade level, right? And so when you select your grade level, you can also filter by the type of lesson you're looking for. Do you want a full lesson? Do you want a single activity? Or do you want an interactive video? Okay, so that is one way to search in Nearpod if you want to search by your subject area. Now, if you want to just search by your grade level in general, so outside of subject area, you want to just search by grade level. So let's say I teach 5th grade, and I want to click on 5th grade. Now it's going to search everything for 5th grade. Okay, so my grade level is 5th. But I have all subjects that are popping up here in my search. So if I want to filter my search by, because this is going to be either a science or social studies lesson in 5th grade, I can filter that by selecting the options that I want for the subject area. So if I'm looking for science or social studies for 5th grade, I can filter that and see what populates, see what comes up. And again, if I want to filter it even more, what I can then do is right up here at the top, do I want a lesson that has content and activities? Do I want an activity that just has those 4 options? Okay. Do I want a single activity that's one of these 4 options? Or do I want an interactive video that's a video with the questions embedded? So I can search by my grade level and then by the subjects that I'm looking for in that grade level. Okay, so we've looked at how you can search by grade level and how you can search by your subject area. So let me just check here, subject grade level. Now, if you know exactly what you're looking for, you can search by keyword. And how you search by keyword is like right up here in the top center where I showed you earlier. You can type in your keyword. So let's say I want to search for metaphors. Okay, I can type that in there. And guess what? Everything related to that keyword is going to show up for me. But I can filter it even more. So once I type in that keyword, metaphors show up. So now I can select whatever subject, I can select whatever grade level, and then it will filter it even more for the keyword that I've selected. And even more so, I can then select if I want to look at lessons for metaphors, or if I want to look at activities, whether they're matching pairs, time to climb, draw it, or drag and drop, or if I want to look at interactive videos for metaphors. So I can search by keyword as well. So we've talked about so far 3 ways that you can search in the Nearpod library. We've looked at how you can search by the subject and filter, right? Remember, we looked at all the ways you can filter from subject. You can select subject, you can select your grade level, and you can select the content type. We've looked at how you can search by grade and still filter. And we looked at how you can search by keyword and still filter, okay? So remember that you can continue to browse for your lessons by looking at the featured lessons, the content type, and the publisher. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to go back to my library, and I am going to look at the different content types. So if I select content types here, again, you're going to have 3 options, right? Videos, activities, and lessons. So if I want to look at interactive videos only, I'm going to choose those videos, right? Those are the content type for just the videos. And this is everything that's an interactive video because I selected video. Now I can filter it once I'm in the video view. I can filter it by grade level and by subject to limit the search so that it's more, it's more related to what I'm teaching. But if I choose video, all of the interactive videos that are part of the Nearpod library will populate here for you to see. But you can filter it by subject, grade level, or even add your keyword up here to the top, okay? So you have your videos as a content type. Now you have your activities. So remember, the activities are matching pairs, time to climb, draw it, and drag and drop. You have 4 types of activities that you can choose from under activities. So when I select activities here, all of those activities will populate, right? And so I'm able to use the filter, right, for my subject area or my grade level, or I can use the keyword search up here to find an activity that I'm looking for. So let's say I want to look for, I'm going to type in brain, parts of the brain. Okay, so if I type in brain in my keyword, it has now limited my search for the activities, and I can preview any of these to see if they align to what my needs are. I can even now search by grade level, okay, or by subject area to limit my search. And now activities that are related to what I have selected will populate. And so I actually only have 2, 4, 5, 10 activities that relate to what I've put in out of 22,000 because I used the filtering options in the search. So I use my keyword search, I use my subject, my grade level, and I told it the type of resource I was looking for in the library. Okay, and so let's say you did find something that you want to use. You can hit preview to see what it looks like before you even add it to your lessons. So remember, when it comes to activities, you're getting a single task in one of these 4 options. What I have selected here is a drag and drop option. And so this is what it would look like for students to participate in this activity. It is only 1 slide because it's only a single activity. If this is something that I want to add to my library so that I can assign it to students, I will select down here at the bottom of it, add to my lessons. And now that becomes part of my library. So if I need to edit it or launch it as a live or student-paced activity, I can do that. Okay, so what I want to do here is I want to go back to the Nearpod library. So I'm going to go back to the Nearpod library to come back here to look at, again, continue to look at my search options. So we've looked at videos, we've looked at activities. And now remember, the lessons are really robust, right? Because they include multiple slides and they have content and activity features. So these are all of the lessons in the library, all of them. But remember, you want to search so that this is specific to what you need. And so I can use the subject area, okay? I can use the grade level, okay? And then I can even use the keywords up here. So if I type in a keyword, it will limit my search even more, okay? It will limit my search even more. And so now I have these options that are related to what I've typed in my search bar and what I've selected for my grade level and my subject area. My grade level is 7, my subject area is math. And so these are the lessons that are related to that particular search that I've just selected. So if I'm hovering over these lessons, I can see the option to preview and add to my lessons. So if I go ahead and I hit here, preview, okay, I am able to preview the lesson to see how many slides and see what kinds of activities are in this lesson. So I can see that there are 12 slides. As I go through, I see what the slides look like. I can see that there's a draw it activity here, another draw it activity. There's also a quiz, okay? And then there's a poll. Okay, so I can work with this. I can see how I can use this with my students. So now I want to add it to my lessons. So down here at the bottom, I click add to my lessons. And now this activity is part of my lessons. Okay. All right. So we have gone into the library and we've talked about how you can search by grade level. We've talked about how you can search by subject area. We talked about the 3 types of content resources that you'll find in the library and how you can even search and then add those to your library. You can also search by publisher because Nearpod has a partnership with lots of wonderful publishers that I'm sure you're familiar with because these are all, specific to certain content areas and so on. So you can search, let's say you are a social studies teacher. You want to look at BBC Worldwide. You can search by that particular partner. So if I click on BBC Worldwide, okay, these are all of the resources that are available from BBC in the Nearpod library, okay? So I can hover over them and preview them and even add them to my lessons. So these are all the BBC content that is available, all right? So you have your option to search by publisher as well. And like I said, there are a host of publishers that you can choose from that are subject area specific. So like Eclipse is science related and it tells you it's for grades 3 through 8. McGraw-Hill is English language arts, grade K through 5. You can see that Pearson is higher ed, ELA, PBS is social studies 6 through 12. So you can look to see what the publisher's specific focus is and then go from there. So if you're a science teacher, PhET is for science. Science Magic Show is for science if you're in the K-5, the elementary grade level for science. So you can certainly search by your publishers as well. So grade level search, subject area search, content type search with the 3 options, and publishers. The last option that I want to talk about for searching is featured. So depending on, the time of year, Nearpod will have, or they will feature certain types of lessons. So right now it's back to school. And so you're going to see that they have a back to school topic. And so when I click on that, I'm going to see all of the lessons that are related to back to school. Okay. So I can see that this is K through 12, multiple subjects, life skills, and so on. So I can preview this collection of lessons to see what's in it and how I can use it. So you can search, okay? You can search by featured as well, and it depends on the time of year, because then you can see things that are aligned to what's happening during that time of the year, as well as other things as well. Here's one on current events. Here is one on promoting inclusion, fostering emotional health. So those things are not necessarily tied to the time of year, but these are the ones that are featured. So you can also search by featured as well. Okay, so we've talked about how you can search by subject, how you can search by grade level, how you can search by keyword. We've looked at featured lessons. We've looked at the 3 content types, and we've looked at how you can search by publisher. So we've covered a lot. Now, what I want to talk to you about now that we're towards the end is, once you find what you're looking for and you have added those lessons to your library, you want to, make sure that the lessons are aligned to what your students' needs are. And so you can actually go in and edit those pre-made lessons. So here are some quick tips when you are editing your pre-made lessons that you have just gotten from the Nearpod library. How are we looking, moderators? How are we looking with time-wise? I believe. I just want to make sure. Okay, I think we are right at time. So let me just briefly talk about those 3 tips. You want to adjust the activities because all of the activities in Nearpod, they can be adjusted. Maybe you want to change how the question is worded. Maybe you want to add a reference media to the question. You want to also add interactive content. Maybe that lesson doesn't have a virtual field trip or Nearpod 3D, and you want to add that. And you can even remove or rearrange slides. So maybe that lesson has some slides that, guess what? You don't need those slides, and you can easily delete them. So those are just some quick tips for editing the lesson. So as we get ready to close, think about how you started the session today and the goal that you set, and think about the value you got and if that goal was met from our session today, and continue to explore the Nearpod platform, finding those lessons in the library, adding them to your library and editing them, and connect with me online. And here is the evaluation form for you to complete for your session today. So I hope you got lots of value and you're able to go into your Nearpod account and search. And I enjoyed being with you tonight, this morning, this afternoon, whatever time of day it is for you. And good luck this school year.